House Majority Leader Eric Cantor from Virginia is with us now from Capitol Hill. Good morning.
Good morning, Charlie.
It is said that Mitt Romney, who you have endorsed, is winning the delegates, but not the argument. What does he have to do now to win the argument, especially with conservative Republican voters?
Charlie, Mitt Romney did what he had to do last night. He racked up more delegates than any of the other candidates. He won 6 out of the 10 states that were up last night. He won my state of Virginia in a very handy way when he was only up against Ron Paul. So, Mitt Romney, and the reason why the voters are going to elect him is because he's the only candidate in the race who's got a plan to turn this economy around. And if you look at all the information coming out of the election, the primary elections last night, it is that issue, the economy and how we're going to get our economy and the deficit straight in Washington and get jobs going again is what matters to people. And Mitt Romney is the leader who has the record of creating jobs and the one that can do that.
So why doesn't it is? With respect, why doesn't that argument seem to resonate with conservative voters who are continuing to give their support on the one hand to Newt Gingrich, but more importantly to Rick Santorum?
I think that what you're seeing is a party that is a robust party with many ideas. These kinds of contests within the party will help strengthen us as we move towards November and to give the American people a clear choice. I mean, the real question is the voters want to see a leader that will provide them with a vision for a better future. Are the jobs going to be there? Will the future be better for parents looking to send their kids to college? Are the parents who are looking to take care of those kids as well as their parents? Are they going to have the resources and the wherewithal to address their needs? Mitt Romney is a candidate who is resonating with concerns like that, and you see it in the poll numbers last night. He has outperformed all the other candidates, and you're seeing an increasing flow towards Mitt Romney because he's the only man who's got that economic record, who's got the plan to create jobs, and he will be our nominee.
Do you believe that this campaign so far, as Barbara Bush suggested, has hurt the Republican Party's chances in the general election? And does the governor, if he is the nominee, have a lot of work to do in terms of reaching out to independents on the one hand and young people on the other?
I think, again, if you look what was going on 4 years ago on the Democratic side of the aisle, you had this same issue going on between Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. And there was a debate that went forward. The parties are supposed to engage in a debate of ideas. But once the nomination occurs, and Mitt Romney is the only one with a clear path towards that nomination, we will have a clear choice in this country, and the American people are going to elect an individual like Mitt Romney who stands starkly against the kind of policies that this president has put in place that, frankly, have not helped this economy come back the way the American people would like to see it.
Well, you were saying that you don't think that Rick Santorum nor Newt Gingrich can win this nomination. There is no pathway. It's impossible for them to put together enough delegates to win.
Well, they have not demonstrated the ability to do what needs to be done. And Mitt Romney has clearly demonstrated that he's got the organization and that he has the actual record to show that he understands how to solve problems. He understands the problems facing this country and knows how to get people back to work again. He's the only individual in the race, including the president, who has a record of creating jobs. He is the only individual who has demonstrated leadership ability to turn things around, and that's why Mitt Romney is going to win this race.
Congressman, I want to ask you quickly about something the president said yesterday. There's been so much talk about Iran. He was pushing back against what some have suggested should be the path. Take a listen.
What's said on the campaign trail, those folks don't have a lot of responsibilities. They're not commander-in-chief. And when I see the casualness with which some of these folks talk about war, I'm reminded of the costs involved in war.
Sir, what is your red line in this case for any sort of military action against Iran?
Well, the issue with Iran is, frankly, we understand that Iran's quest for nuclear capability is a threat to U.S. interests in the Middle East and Central Asia region. It is, frankly, an existential threat to our ally, Israel. And the problem that we're seeing is there's not a lot of certainty coming out of the president or the administration on this issue. I recently returned from a visit to the Persian Gulf and visited with those countries there, and the Arab governments as well are questioning the resolve of the White House and the administration to do what needs to be done. And it's not just the nuclear quest that Iran's on, it's its destabilizing acts throughout the region, that America has just not been there the way it has before. And that's the question of leadership that this president is facing, because there's a lot of question being cast on his leadership in that region.
Is there a specific moment, though, or something that you're looking at that is in fact some sort of a red line for you, where you would then go to the president or others and push for what you see needs to be done if it is military action?
Well, there's a question of nuclear capability versus nuclear bomb. And I think many folks think that if you allow Iran to have the capability, it's then too late. I would agree with those people, and that's the question. It's the difficult issue that we have to wrestle with in terms of intelligence gathering. And, you know, the president indicates that there's some casual talk of war. I don't think anybody downplays the gravity of sending our men and women into harm's way. None of us. We want to make sure that we are doing what we need to do to provide our men and women in uniform with the necessary tools and to guarantee the U.S. security. Thank God for those men and women in uniform, and we ought to be out there leading with a very certain message, which is lacking from the White House.
Congressman Cantor, I want you to stay with us because I have some questions about the jobs bill as well as other issues. But joining us now is Republican campaign strategist Mike Murphy. Welcome.
Good to be here.
You and Eric Cantor know each other well.
He's a good friend, yes.
Let me ask about the jobs bill and come back to the campaign strategy. It seems to be some collaboration, some cooperation between you and Steny Hoyer, the Democratic leader in the House, and perhaps now there will be a jobs bill that passes the House and goes to the Senate, correct?
Yes, there will be a vote tomorrow on our Jobs Act. It's a bill called Jumpstart Our Business Startups. It goes directly to the issue that the country's been grappling with, the inability for small businessmen and women to start a business, to retain and create jobs. And this is a bill which reduces the red tape that is blocking business formation in this country. It goes ahead and says we're going to be open for business in America. Yesterday, the White House issued a statement in support of this bill. Harry Reid in the Senate says he wants to get moving on a bill like this. And I'm looking for a strong bipartisan vote tomorrow. And I think what this indicates is there is a window of opportunity for us to work together in this country, and it's on jobs and the economy.